What is going on, everybody? Welcome to some more Jack of All Trades Division 2 content. We're keeping the conversation rolling on the builds that I've been making, and I've been getting a lot of comments around the Ninjabike Backpack. And before I drop my next build video, I want to do a general video on the Ninjabike Backpack exotic and its uses, where it's good, where it's not good. And sneak peek, it's not that good, unfortunately. But let's get in and I'll start explaining how to use it and why. We're in game here. I've got some random stuff on. Don't worry about that. For now, we're looking at the Ninjabike Messenger Backpack. Alright? For those of you that aren't familiar, essentially what it does is it's like a wildcard brand bonus. So it's going to add to the next tier of the brands that you're running. So, whereas normally, you have your 3 tiers, you get 1, 2, 3, depending on how many pieces of a brand you're running. Ninjabike Backpack is going to count for all brands that you have on, including gear sets, which is really cool, right? So this sounds super interesting, and it is. It sounds really cool, but it's good? Not really. See, the problem with an exotic is that, one, it doesn't have a brand bonus itself, right? So this Ninjabike Backpack is giving you all these brand bonuses, but it doesn't come with one itself. That's one of the trade-offs with running an exotic. And particularly why it's not super powerful is because it's taking up our backpack slot. Backpack talents and chest talents as well are really strong in this game and really what bring the power in your build together, as well as the overall synergy, of course. But the talents are really strong, and sacrificing a talent for this one is, at the end of the day, just not good enough for most purposes, okay? And this happens with a lot of the exotic choices as well. Anytime there's an exotic that's taking up your chest or your backpack, you're like a chest or bag would normally have a talent. An exotic gets really interesting when it's on your mask or your gloves or something else, because it's giving you extra functionality outside of the chest and backpack talent that you would normally be running anyway, right? For chest and bag, it'd have to be really strong for you to sacrifice a normal talent and take up your exotic. You only can run exotic gear piece, right? You're taking up your exotic slot, you're sacrificing the brand, and you're trading the base talent set for whatever this is. Now, in the case of the Memento, which I think is like the strongest exotic in the game, at least for gear pieces, it's definitely one of my favorite. Let's just look at it from a damage perspective, right? You could run Vigilance. That's going to give you 25% weapon damage. Memento at full stack is going to give you 30% weapon damage. Now, yes, at full stack, there's a lot of other caveats that come into it. There's also a lot of other elements to the Memento talent. As you can see, it's quite lengthy, right? It's giving you skill efficiency, it's giving you bonus armor, it's giving you weapon damage, right? This is definitely worth running over a normal high-end talent. Even if you're just looking for damage, it's giving you a lot with it. As long as, the missions or whatever context you're playing in, you can satisfy the talent requirements of, getting those skills, getting the trophies. This is a case where it's worth it. On the Ninjabike Backpack, you don't need to do anything, right? So there's no ramp up, there's no stacking, there's no getting kills. It just slots in, but especially now with the brand bonus changes they've made, what you're getting is just not strong enough in most cases to beat out the backpack talent. And this is what I want to dive into and show you guys here, okay? The value you're getting out of this is that it's unlocking extra brand bonuses. So the reason I have this random build on is because this would essentially be the best use case scenario for the Ninjabike Backpack. We're running a bunch of separate pieces of high-end. Right, so we have the DNH, Cheska, Brazos, Grupo, and Petrov. And you can see when I go over... Actually, wait, I just learned something. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Shout out to the commenters. So you can see as I go through these pieces, right? Normally you would just have one if I was running the Memento, okay, so I'm just getting all of these One Piece brand bonuses, and then I have the Memento there. You swap into the Ninjabike Backpack, and now suddenly all of those One Pieces are becoming 2 pieces. So you're getting the value of 5 brand bonuses, right? That's a pretty good amount of yield. That's 5 brand bonuses. It's almost like an entirely, an entire other build worth of these stats. Now, of course, these are mostly random pieces, right? You'd have to pick brands that make sense, but this would essentially be the highest value use case of it. And so the opposite side of it is that I see a lot of people running Ninjabike Bag with a gear set, and then in the recent video with GLASSFACTOR, people were talking about running 3-piece Refactor and then 2-piece Empress to unlock the gear set 4-piece bonus, as well as that 3-piece Empress, which is very coveted for that skill efficiency. And that's essentially the worst case scenario of running Ninjabike. Think about it. You're only unlocking from your high ends 1 brand bonus. You're trading off your entire backpack to get 10% skill efficiency from 1 brand bonus, right? Whereas here, we're getting 5 different brand bonuses. Stability, in the case with the random pieces, right? Stability, Pro, weapon handling, explosive damage, and a whole skill tier, right? Now, obviously, you can make better picks. This isn't a build, right? But this is showcasing the yield that you can get from both extremes, right? If you're running all of 1 brand and you're using Ninjabike Backpack, right? In the case I'm talking about with the 2 Empress, 3 Refactor, you're unlocking the gear set, right? But you could just run 4-piece Refactor, right? On it without the Ninjabike Backpack, just 4-piece Refactor and 2 Empress. And then, yeah, that could be a build, right? You're swapping out the bag to put the Ninjabike Backpack in so that you can get the same 4-piece Refactor that you had on the non-Ninjabike version, and then you're just unlocking the skill efficiency. There's no case where that's going to beat out just running a backpack talent and picking some different brands. Like you saw in the GLASSFACTOR build, we're running 2-piece Hana, okay? Because that's the best combination that you can make, right? It's really tough when you're trying to get like a 3-piece or something. Now, I was saying that it's not necessarily good. It is really good for some things. It's really good for being creative and coming up with hybrids, okay? Generally, when we talk about good in this game, a lot of people are just thinking of damage. If you're talking single-pointed focuses, okay, where the goal of your build is to satisfy 1 primary requirement, i.e. it's not a complex hybrid, you're just looking for like purely tankiness, purely damage, purely skill damage, okay? Ninjabike Backpack is not good. You're better off min-maxing and catering your pieces entirely towards that. But where it gets interesting, let me swap over here. I had showed this build off already. Very unique, very weird, and this is where the Ninjabike Backpack really shines, okay? When you're trying to do builds that are very hybridized, that you're trying to do multiple things in one package, that's where the Ninjabike Backpack really comes in. If you're talking just one thing, leave it in your inventory, leave it in your stash. Not the case. Something weird like this, that's where it starts getting interesting, right? We're doing Foundry with a shield. We're tanky. We want weapon damage and crits. You can see because, it also comes with all 3 of your cores. So when you're trying to do a hybrid with high skill tier, like we have here, this is a tier 6 skill tier build, okay? With Foundry, that's critting and has a super healthy shield with this Lengmo piece, right? So we're really tanky, we're doing weapon damage, and we're tier 6 with skill damage rolled almost everywhere on this turret. That's trying to do a lot of different things, and that's why the Ninjabike Backpack fits well in this build. Now listen, That being said, this build isn't crazy. It's not super good. It's definitely not meta by any means. That's not really the point of the build. It's really cool and it's an interesting playstyle. And it was also just, for me as a creator, what I like about the game is coming up with interesting builds. This one puts in the work in Legendary. It works in Legendary. It did what it was supposed to do in the Legendary level context. That's why I made it. And it was a challenge to fit all of these things into one build. And I had to leverage the Ninjabike Backpack for that, because there was no other way to get Foundry plus skill health, plus all of the skill tiers, right? And then the Brazos. It was a lot going on. Okay? And these are the situations where Ninjabike Backpack is good. Now again, it's more useful for creative hybrids than it is when you're trying to use it for one-pointed things, right? And even here, right, the other time it really comes into play is when you're trying to unlock the 4-piece of a gear set and then also get creative with the other pieces. A lot of the time, it'll be good if you're running a named piece, or if there's more than one named piece you want to slot in to your build. This is going to be a situation that's really good. The Picaros holster Ninjabike combo is super strong because if you're running it like we have here, you're getting 3 skill tiers just from those 2 pieces. If you roll it, your Picaros to a skill core, you have the one there, you have the one from Ninjabike, right, because it comes with all of your cores. Then you're getting the other one from the 2-piece that Ninjabike is activating on the Brazos. It also comes with 2/3 of a weapon damage core, and you're getting another full one from Ninjabike and a blue. So for hybrid builds where you're trying to do blue, red, and skill tier, that's the kind of situation where it would come out in. If you're just talking a skill build, like we were talking about for the refactor setup, it's not going to cut it. You're better off taking a look at my video, the GLASSFACTOR, and if you want more details on the choices for chest bag, the one I dropped right after, that's where you're going to want to set up for pure damage. Alright y'all, that's everything I wanted to talk about regarding the Ninjabike Backpack and how to get the most value out of it for when you're making a build, and hope that it helps you guys when you're trying to make setups utilizing the backpack. Get creative with it, because I know I did, and you're going to see a build coming soon with the Ninjabike Backpack actually. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy.